Melt away fat. Never diet again. The promises of magic pills that will lead to safe, effortless weight loss are everywhere. But while these mythical weight loss products may never exist, the FDA is getting ready to approve something extremely close to it. The news has been nearly impossible to miss, with a tidal wave of interest in medications that are revolutionizing an innovative approach to weight loss is swiftly evolving. Unlike past diet and weight loss trends, GLP-1 drugs are generating levels of enthusiasm that have rarely been seen, and honestly, there are a few examples from history that have generated such impact. What once started as a lesser-known treatment aiming to control blood glucose levels of type 2 diabetics has turned Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro, and Zepbound into household names and brought us to the cusp of a health revolution. Furthermore, the next few days, months, and beyond are shaping up to be a pivotal time for the GLP-1 landscape, mostly due to the FDA expectantly approving the first orally administered medication for chronic weight management sometime during the fourth quarter of 2025. Though you might be wondering if this discovery has fueled an unprecedented surge in interest and demand for these current injectable peptides, why then are companies working so hard to make oral tablet forms of weight loss drugs that target the GLP-1 receptor? From a business perspective, there are some obvious advantages, such as oral tablet formulations tending to be cheaper and easier to manufacture and distribute than sterile injector pens. In fact, manufacturing complexity, both in terms of making the peptide active ingredients and producing the final injectors, significantly contributed to both Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk struggling to supply surging demand for their products following approvals for weight loss indications. And from a patient perspective, oral weight loss pills are attractive for several reasons, most notably enhancing convenience for those who simply prefer pills to injections and making treatment accessible to those who are extremely needle-phobic. However, while tablet forms are generally more familiar and accessible to most individuals, the relative success of any oral drugs will likely depend on a combination of price, performance, and side effect profiles. The price of oral GLP-1 weight loss drugs hasn't been released yet, as these medications are obviously still awaiting FDA approval, but financial barriers are expected to lessen for both those with and without insurance coverage. Then, in terms of performance, this might be, at least initially, the most interesting comparative variable, especially since Novo Nordisk announced in May 2025 that the FDA accepted a new drug application for a 25 milligram oral version of semaglutide. And early indications from clinical trial results suggest that oral semaglutide is unlikely to produce the same level of spectacular weight loss results as the current injectables. Additionally, oral versions of these weight loss medications also come with possible adherence challenges. As an example, oral semaglutide must be taken at least 30 minutes before any food, beverage, or other oral medications for full efficacy. This may prove challenging, especially for patients who are recommended to take other medications first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. Attempting to manage multiple time-sensitive medications can disrupt an individual's daily routine, increasing the risk of missing medications or consuming them outside of the recommended dosing window for full efficacy. Lastly, the dosage of oral semaglutide for weight loss is much higher compared to the injectable version, which could increase risk for more pronounced side effects. This is particularly problematic given studies have shown upwards of 70% of patients reported adverse effects with injectable GLP-1 medications. While Novo Nordisk claims most oral semaglutide side effects reported were mild to moderate and diminished over time, experiencing adverse effects or fear regarding potential adverse effects to any drug has been shown to deter adherence to that medication. And although oral Wegovy is expected to be approved by the FDA sometime in the fourth quarter of 2025, competition will quickly heat up from a myriad of biopharma companies, including Eli Lilly, Viking Therapeutics, Biomed, and Roche. In fact, Eli Lilly is expected to submit its application to the FDA for its once-daily oral weight loss drug by the end of 2025, with potential regulatory approval in 2026. Regardless, the demand for effective weight loss treatments is huge, and there's ample space in the market for a variety of complementary therapies. According to recent Goldman Sachs projections, the US weight loss medication market will essentially triple to over $60 billion by 2030, with oral versions accounting for a quarter of that total market size. While oral weight loss drugs represent, in my opinion, one of the most significant new product cycles across the entire biopharma sector, there's no guarantee they will make an immediate disruptive market impact or outcompete existing injectables long term. And before the current weight loss drug gold rush, the path to treating obesity was scattered with failures dating back decades. The main reason many experimental treatments were scrapped by drug makers, rejected by regulators, or eventually pulled from the market were unintended side effects, including elevated liver enzymes, cancer risk, cardiovascular risk, and serious psychiatric problems. Though even more recently, Pfizer scrapped 2 weight loss drug candidates, demonstrating how difficult it is to develop an effective, safe, and tolerable treatment even after recent breakthrough medications entered the space. And while this is not a like-for-like comparison, we can't overlook how other oral weight loss medications have been on the market for the last decade, but have only experienced a small fraction of success comparatively. Additionally, a low-dose over-the-counter weight loss drug option of Orlistat, which is marketed as blocking some fat absorption from food, hasn't proven hugely popular in the US market due to GI-related side effects. But maybe a human behavior concern related to the decades of failed weight loss supplements is that patients might prefer injector pens, as it could feel more committed and medical of an intervention compared to popping a diet pill. However, before any GLP-1 haters think I'm alluding to this eventual situation where the pharmaceutical industry backtracks on developing oral delivery options, I'm not, full stop. These will be margin accretive for the pharmaceutical industry's newest cash cow. Even if this first wave isn't perfect, there will be a new wave of improvements, and then another new wave of improvements after that, if appropriate. The GLP-1 haters that think these weight loss drugs will go away don't understand they're essentially betting against not only the effectiveness of specific drugs, but that the pharmaceutical industry won't opportunistically focus on high-demand markets with appealing commercial metrics. Though for the last part of this content, I'm sure many of the CPG industry leaders that follow my content are wondering, how will this impact future business? It's challenging to fully anticipate the many impacts from weight loss, diet changes, and behavior shifts that may occur, but I believe there remains a major opportunity to support GLP-1 users through this transformational period and capture the value from enabling their new behaviors. I mentioned this in previous GLP-1 second-order effects content, but promotion of functional food and beverage by clearly communicating nutritional or other health benefits will be more important than ever. Meeting nutritional goals with less food means that CPG brands should consider how they could develop products that meet the full range of nutritional requirements for the GLP-1 community. Additionally, more are keenly recognizing the potential for dietary supplements to bridge the nutritional gap that may arise from reduced food intake. Likewise, certain dietary supplements and functional ingredients are helpful in combating against the side effects of weight loss drugs, from protein to gut-friendly fiber, digestive enzymes, and probiotics, but also electrolyte powders. Also, we've seen a spike in popularity surrounding clinically validated ingredients like HMB that can help improve body composition. Regardless, I'm not here to yell hyperbole on my soapbox about future market disruptions, as anyone denying weight loss drugs have already tangibly disrupted many aspects of the CPG industry are living in denial. But even the worst case scenario surrounding oral versions of weight loss drugs increases US market penetration meaningfully and international market penetration substantially. Then the best case scenario is what I described earlier. These oral weight loss drugs represent one of the most significant new product cycles across the entire biopharma sector. So for many pockets of the CPG industry, strategic inactivity will become increasingly problematic. Instead, CPG brands should be acting now to increase the odds they learn from these customers, better serve them, and develop a long-term strategy based on the market's direction. Finally, I'm going to leave the next generation weight loss drug development storyline for a future content piece. So if you want to hear my exploration of how pharmaceutical companies are testing combinations that could really uproot today's legacy business activity, let me know in the comments below. But I hope you enjoyed the first principles thinking that went into my latest YouTube video. If you did, can you do me a favor by hitting that like button? That quick and free action helps YouTube know my content is worth spreading to more people. Also, we're getting really close to reaching my next subscriber goal, and it would be great if you join me on this journey. But to do that, we need to fix the fact that slightly more than 3/4 of you that are watching this video right now are not subscribed to my YouTube channel, and that hurts my feelings. Regardless, I want to thank you for giving me some of your attention and time, and I'll see you on the next one.